Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with my friend and colleague, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house and we are always excited. Coach, I don't know if I can really explain the enthusiasm we have when it's time to hear from you because you bring so much experience from so many different industries
Thank you.
that it just, I don't know, it lights up my room. So, guys, if you haven't already done so, get a pencil and paper. Um, just make some kind of notation of this coming episode because you're going to find some nuggets that will just be so enlightening and indispensable to how you improve your life and improve your business. So without further ado, Coach Caren Fern. Coach, what did you got for us today?
Today we're talking about force function. You might know
Oh,
it, you might not know it, but I'm going to give you the meaning and then we're going to dive right in. All
okay.
right, let me give you the meaning because that way you're clear on it. I'm not just talking, you can go look it up yourself too. Today we're talking about force function, and the definition of it is an aspect of a design that prevents the user from taking action. And it got way more down the line, but that's what I'm going to talk about. And
Okay.
as an individual, it's hard already. But when it comes to business, this friction, this thing that happened, becomes more prevalent. And it's not there to hinder you, but it feels like it is because starting a business is hard. Sometimes we want to dress it up and make it look nice, but
Mhm.
starting a business is hard. And hard things teaches you what you need, want, and grows you. It is so important. It's like telling a kid to do something that they don't want to do and they're fighting you on it. Even they don't know it subconsciously, that's the thing they thank you for later in life.
You know it's the truth. After all of that foolishness.
Mhm. And
Oh
so
my.
you're fighting yourself, not your mom or dad or whomever. You're fighting yourself now on the same things, and you've been fighting you for a long time. This is why I'm working on a program to sell people are going to be able to just buy the printable until they're ready to get into the program about finding yourself.
Mm.
It mightn't be something that you might want to do or feel it's a need to do, but let me tell you, it's a must do. You
Mm.
need to find out who you are. I keep saying it all this year long in different forms, in different formats, and everything I'm teaching here on Wednesdays, guys, because when you find out who you are able to be angry with you, forgive you, love you, enjoy you, be with you, so you can be with others, so you can help others.
Mm-hmm.
This is important. So force function. So I'm going to give you the three things we're going to cover here. What do you consciously consider, to be force function? Do you understand the information that is relevant? Do you understand the information that you're getting? Is it relevant? And I'll tell you why in a little bit. Force functions, it forces conscious attention upon and bring consciousness to the thing you don't want to do. And again, I'll explain why. It deliberately disrupts the efficiency it feels like that you're performing when you're performing a task. And that's the short form, but it gives you results to showcase to you that you can. Now, it sounds like a lot of things that I've just said, but I'm going to break each thing down for you because when you understand what's happening in that force function, I'll give you the simplest thing. You're asked to, let's say you don't have a resume because you're out of the work environment, and you're
Mm-hmm.
asked to create a resume in a sense to present something. Now, you start feeling like you can do it. Even though you got a world experience, you've worked before, you feel you can do it. You have to force the function of creating the resume, and people make it messy. Not good. Just go do it. You're forcing the function of creating that resume. Then you
Mm.
go back and you're going to tweak it. You might even scrap it and start over. And that's okay, because you are allowing yourself to force through the feeling of I cannot do. I
Mm.
don't know how to do. Maybe I need somebody else to do it. That's a form of force function. And that's the simplest way. Let me tell you about it in a business way. You know,
Please.
you know to yourself that you're starting this business, and there is a few things in there that you feel you can do. But there's these other things that you feel you cannot do. And if it's feeling is so strong, you want to hand it over to somebody. The reason when you hand it over, you might not get the great results you think you were going to get is because you didn't force the function of seeing it through to the end so you can explain it well to the person you're handing it over to. I'll give you a simple example. I know somebody who was building a website for a hairdresser, and it took the website creator about 6 to 9 months to build this website. It was not necessary. But the hairdresser have never seen herself more than renting a chair and doing hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so now
Mm-hmm.
she was put in this force function, a relationship where she has to talk about her business, she has to talk about herself, she has to demonstrate in words and picture that she knows what she's doing. Now she's good. She is good.
Mm-hmm.
She has a waiting list, but that's all she knows. So to break through, force function is breaking through. To break through to the other side, that's going to polish her up. That's going to get her to the monies that she's asking to be made. Let me make that part very clear, right? She's good. She's experienced. She's got a waiting list, but she doesn't charge enough. She,
Mm.
she is not consistent, punctual, or
Oh.
framing her business well. So when she's asked these questions and she has to force through to get there, a month went by, 2 months went by. By the third month, she's tired. And this is my client saying, I don't know what else to do about my client because I can't get her to this other page. And I said, well, that's because A, you can't tell your client that it takes 3 months to build a website. You got to tell the client that it takes 3 months to build a website if you don't receive the information you need. Because two things are happening. My client has gotten relaxed in building a website in 3 months when it could be built in a month or less.
Mm-hmm.
She also is leaving money on the table because she can't function with other, she's not able to
Take on more clients.
more clients.
Yeah.
And she's letting one client or two hold her up because they weren't ready.
So then the person building the website, i.e. your client, is
Mhm.
frustrated. And
Yes.
so as a result, she's lost interest in this
Mhm.
woman's website because every time she contacts her, she can't get the information she needs to move forward.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And that's holding up money in two places.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I said to my client, you need to tell your client, you need to sit and show her the chart with money. Stop trying to show her how the website is going to be pretty. But I want you to sit with her and show her the money that is going through the door. You need to show her the money that's not coming in, but is going through the door. Because
Mm-hmm.
we had to have this triangle happening where she had to go in and let her see. She's paying her rent for the space. She's paying all the overhead. She's barely able to pay for her car and her cost of living because she's in this giant. And let me tell you something, guy. This is a giant circle, wormhole, if you will, that you find yourself in if you don't understand how to force through that function to get to what you need so you could be functioning, so that you can actually be functioning in a good way. So many businesses, she's just a tip of the iceberg, but so many businesses do not function well because they don't understand when they hit, people call it a roadblock or whatever is happening. Force function comes up in different ways. You think you can get past it. You truly believe you can get past it.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes, again, back to knowing yourself. When you understand what blocks you, you can get over it. Anytime I see people jump in the double Dutch rope and music are playing, if you were to stop and think about the rope and the music, how in God's name that person is jumping and not tripping
I
up?
I I I can't do it. I give them credit. I give
Yes,
y'all credit for being able to do that. I
yes.
never did master double dutch.
And that's because somewhere inside of them, deep inside, they've decided they're going to do it. It sounds simply, but it's one of the most true statements. When you decide you're going to do something,
Mm-hmm.
you just do it. All the excuses fall away. And it's hard. It's hard,
Mm-hmm.
but it fall away and you get through it and you do it. And you stand, it's almost like you're watching yourself do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like
Mm-hmm.
you're watching you get through it. And that's what you have to understand. So my clients say, I want to make $10,000 a month. That's where I want to begin. And I say to my client, she can. Matter of fact, I'd help a client of mine and she can make way more a month. And let me tell you how on her own. And I just I had the paper and everything ready. So I give her the whole formula. I said, this is what she needs to do. And if she follow each step for the first 90 days, she mightn't get there. But if she stick with it, I promise you by 180 days, she'll be there and she'll surpass it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no question. She'll
Mm-hmm.
surpass it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what's the economy. I don't care who's not buying. This is not what we're dealing with. This is we doing the hard stuff.
Uh-huh.
This is we getting past all the barriers. This is the athlete that has to run and can run. This is my friend that get up 4 every morning, whether there's a race coming or not. This is another friend who mom is a runner who will travel, just had a baby, 2 weeks old, and she got a meet and she's flying to Barbados and she's going to run. And nobody in that crowd knew that she had a baby 2 weeks ago. She's not complaining. She's not making excuses. She's squeezing enough breast milk. She's leaving it alone because she's going away for 4 days. And her sister's stepping in. And it didn't matter what everybody felt or feel sorry for her. She's on that plane and she went to Barbados. She ran. She lead the team. She came home with gold. And she's back with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
2 months later, she's gone again.
Mm-hmm.
You look around, you say, how do they do it? How do they do it? They believe they can. And every obstacle that you want to name, they
Mm-hmm.
face. Because
Wow.
most obstacles are not physical. They're mental, they're emotional,
Wow.
and they're binding, and they feel so real. And you feel you can't do it. And once you force that function, you do it. And you come out to the end and you said, I did that. How did I do it? But I did that. How did I do it? Because people who do it ask themselves that eventually, once they keep doing it, this is the kicker, guys. Once you do it, though, you got to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop. You celebrate an hour, 2 hours, 2 days, 3 days. I don't care, but you got to get back at it. And while you're celebrating, I'm not saying not to be 100% there, but I say there's a part of you need to keep that momentum inside and be ready for the next function to be forced through. Because if you ever made $100, you are forcing the function to make the $1,000. You might not realize it, and to make the several other thousands, because a millionaire who wants to be a billionaire is doing the same work with you at a different level.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're still forcing the function to do it. I still force functions to do things that I know I must do. It's in my being to do. And so I'll do it. And I might like it. Lots of times I don't like it.
All right. Well, anything forced can be pretty traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think also that people ought to give themselves credit. At some point in your life, you have had a forced function
Yes.
according to this definition.
Yes.
And if you look back over, you wonder, how did I do all of that?
Mm-hmm.
And was still standing.
Yes.
and went on to do other things.
Yes.
Um, because this will give you the self-confidence to
Hmm.
face other instances when you need to force a function. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. And we look at words, and sometimes the force make you feel a type of way. And so we try to soften it. But let me tell
Mhm.
you about softening things. It keep you on that softer side that you never get to force through other things. A mom who, and no disrespect, but a mom who has had to really work very hard with her children and do stuff all the time, not because she doesn't need that softness in between, she will survive more better than a mom who didn't have to do that, because now she's now learning how to force a function. This doesn't go away, because if you miss out on it in one area, it's coming for you in the other area. So don't
This.
see it as a bad word, guys. Don't see it as a bad word.
Mhm.
Don't see it as a bad thing. I want you to see it as something that helps build you. As Terry just said, it gives you the confidence. You're building. Everything is a building block. Everything you see and you do helps build you. Sometimes we don't force function because it makes us lose friendships. It makes us grow, and we don't want to do that because we want to stay where we are. I am just one of those lucky people. I always say lucky. Some people won't see me as lucky. My sister would say, Karen, why you always say you're lucky? Like, look how hard your life was. I said, yeah, but I'm lucky that I get to find myself, not fully, but know myself since I was about 9, 10. I started realizing who I am. And so I had lots of friends. Nearly everybody in the school and I were friends, but a lot of them fell off when I started being selling things because I embarrassed some people. And then when I started doing good at it, I lost a new set of people. And then when I got better at it, I lost a chunk of people and people who try to get me in trouble on a regular basis.
Mm.
And then when I start coaching other kids to do good, well, I got a group of people who cherish me and who enjoy my company, but I got another set of people who spend time harassing me. This day and age, it would be bullying, like drop all my textbooks. I just started back school in September, I believe. The third week, a girl dumped all my textbook in a pile of mud. I lost all my textbooks. Somebody else had thrown mud on me. Like a bunch of things started happening. But I didn't know at the time as a child that was because I was moving. And they didn't like that I was moving away. And I
Mhm.
didn't know I was moving away either. I thought our friendship was solid, but they were seeing where I was going, or at least they felt where I could get to. And so these were things to hamper me. I was those kids who were bright, who loved singing and dancing and loved people. And so this group of people who couldn't handle it were feeling like I was leaving them, like I wasn't going to dance anymore, or I wasn't going to sing anymore. And their retaliation was to do a lot of little mischievous things to me.
Ooh, how cruel.
I tell you, I
Ki-
cried. I tell you guys, I cried.
We say kids are cruel, but you know something? I think that they carry some of these traits into adulthood if they
Yes,
are not corrected.
yes, agreed.
Because and they come in the form of jealousy,
Mm-hmm,
they come in the form of gossip
mm-hmm,
or undermining people's businesses.
mm-hmm. Yep,
That is terrible. Oh
terrible,
my gosh.
terrible, terrible, terrible. But I tell you, every part of me wanted to just stop doing what I was
Of
doing.
course, that was the objective, right?
Yes, and just get back on the friendship wagon and just be. And it took everything inside of me. So when I tell you things, guys, this is like life lessons, clients lessons. When I tell you, Terry, I went home. I remember cutoff was over about Wednesday or Tuesday. It happened. So by the end of the week, I just wanted to just sleep and don't do anything other than go to school and come back. But this thing inside of me that just wouldn't let up. And I took a day or two, and then I was back at it. I decided what I needed to be done, and I was forcing function. I had to go to all my teachers and say I don't have a textbook, and again, I'm very strict with that. I don't have a textbook, and I know what I got to do for homework. If I can get it, I would do it, and it's going to take some time. And then I had to march myself because the kids get punished, but the book still reigned. So I had to go find the kid's parent and come line a complaint. We didn't have phones, so go knock on the kid's door and tell the parent what happened. And
Are you kidding? You as a child?
Yep. Knock on the door and told I said, I told the
You
dad
know
what
that was a different day and time.
happened. Told the dad, he says, and you didn't do anything. I told him what I did. He said, my God. And I didn't think he was going to do anything, but he did. I did get my textbook back. It took me a minute, a couple of weeks, but I did get them back. I did get an apology, but I knew, and the girl and I and everybody's like, you guys gonna be friends again. But I knew we couldn't be friends
It
again.
was never going to be the
It was
same.
never gonna be the same. I tried, and after a couple of weeks, I said to myself, Caren, probably on your own. And she was like a best friend to me. We grew up together, so it was hard to let her go. But once I was
Mhm.
able to let her go, I started realizing people come and they leave. That was my first lesson, guys, by the way, of people
How
coming
early?
in and
Wow.
leaving. And it was painful. And there's times in my life where I just wanted her. I want to reach out for her. I
Hmm.
want to hug her. I want to talk to her
I
because we
can
talked about
imagine.
everything. And here I was now with nobody to talk the deep things with because she was my deep friendship.
The other thing is that those people hold the secrets of our life.
Yes. And she was gonna do she would take things that I have told her and tell people. And I know that would happen. And so I allowed myself to accept that when it happened, I'm gonna be okay with it.
Their confidences would be broken.
Yes. I know
Yeah.
I was gonna be okay with it. And not okay in the sense of I'm jumping up and down. When I say okay with it, is that it's going to happen and I can't do anything about it. And how
Hmm.
am I going to get past it? And that's part of force function. When you start understanding you can force through the things that you do and you can live through the hard things that has happened to you, you build a kind of resistance that you don't even understand that has started. And as you get older, you build up more resistance. Here's
Mm.
the tricky part though. You can't get hard and harsh while you build that resistance because you're doing yourself a disservice. So it's this small yin and yang that happen. So every time you're mad, upset, angry, and really vexed with somebody, you gotta feel it. Go through the process, but don't hold on to it. That's the forgiveness part, but don't get sucked back into it. But you're
Mhm.
still feeling and you're still growing and it's still happening. And that happens to us so much in business. We don't realize that's why we shut down and we don't sell anymore and we don't market anymore. And our product is still great, but we can't bring it to the limelight because we haven't built up that resistance of understanding. It was just a no. It's just a maybe not now. It's just I'm not ready. But 10 other people are ready. You just hiding so those other 10 people don't know that you're ready. So you can't
Exactly.
make that dollar.
Wow. I'm just amazed by this. I'm truly, truly amazed by this because it reminds me so much of there's a time to mourn and a time to rejoice and a time to dance and a time to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
refrain from dancing. You know what I'm saying? That
Yes.
because if you get stuck there,
Yes.
then
You can't move. I used to be angry with my grandmother for a long time, and God brought it to my table only last week, saying that she was just the vessel that He used to give me the thing I needed.
all these lessons.
It's because she would say things to me, and I'd be so hurt about it, and then she'll come back like there was nothing. And I always tell people, I said, God took my mother out of the way so that she can give me the lessons I needed. Not because my mom wasn't a good woman. It's just that she couldn't give me those lessons.
Hmm.
She wouldn't be as harsh. She couldn't be as direct, not even harsh, but direct with the information as it needed to be delivered to me.
Because we know as you get older, we just cut to the chase.
Ah, blunt.
You know, all that dancing around and trying
Nope,
to be diplomatic. Look,
nope.
the bottom line
Just
is
here's the
look.
line. Here's the line. Here's what you got to do. Here's what's going to happen.
Yep, yep. Old folks will tell you the truth.
Yeah, straight to the point. You just get it and you go with it, or you don't. Take your
they,
pick.
they're not trying to put nothing extra on it. No sugar on the medicine.
No,
Just here, you need to take this.
yes. And guys, when you start doing it, it really feels debilitating. It feels like you can't do it. I know the feeling, but you're in your zone. Do you understand when you feel like you can't do anything? When you feel like you don't know what to do and you
Hmm.
sit still because, guys, you need to sit still with it. Anytime you feel like you can't do anything, I promise you, it's not to go do the thing, it's to sit still. Force function is so funny. It is the doing, it's the sitting still, and it's the believing that you can. This thing is wrapped up together. And by the way, it's wrapped up in your monies too.
Mm,
It's all wrapped up in there. Could
there you
you
go.
imagine? You're sitting still and you have the feeling and the notion that you should do this one thing. That's it. Just go do it. Do the one thing, because that thing build on the other thing that builds on the other thing, and you just forced through to the thing you need to do.
I love it. I love it. And I just push through all the feelings, all the, and I am a big fan of get somewhere and sit down.
Girl.
I'm a big, my grandmother used to tell me that all the time when I was a child.
Mhm.
And then my mother would say, there is no substitute for peace of mind. There were little things that people would
Yes.
say to you that
Yes.
as you age,
Yes.
you come to understand
Yes.
things like it's a blessing to be able.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Truly.
You will
Truly.
come to understand these
You
things
you understand what they were saying to you, because
and, and the value.
yes. 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 You're there like, why are you saying this to me? But then you watch it happen. I remember one day I came from school and I had a bunch of product, and I wanted it to be sold out because I needed the money, because I was very disciplined by then, guys. I
Mhm.
needed the money to buy back material for the weekend sale, and the weekend sale was big. And it was about Thursday afternoon, and sales wasn't as great, and I was getting anxious. And I remember saying to myself, Karen, you got a book you didn't finish. And I pull out the book and I start reading. I made sure my sister was well. And I pull out the book and I start reading the book. And one person came and bought, two people came and bought. And next thing you know, I was sold out. I quietly refrained myself, moved my mind away from overworking on the not selling, and I was sold out. And online is no
Hmm.
different, even though it's different.
This is interesting. This is really interesting to shift the thought,
Mhm.
the
Process.
direction of our
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, to shift it. If you're ever broke and you keep sitting around and saying, I am broke, oh my God, I don't know what to do, I am broke. Well, you're not going to do anything, first of all, because you just claim, I don't know what to do. So stop it
Mhm.
right now. Just stop it. I accept I am broke. I've got the last $20, $5, I don't care what it is in my purse, and I have nothing else. Where do I go from? Here's the questions. Where do I go from here? What do I need to do exactly next? Wait for it. Let it come. Write it down. Do not try to keep it in your brain.
Mm.
If 20 things came, write all 20 down. When they come, then when you finish, go look at them and really pull out the two or three that make sense. And then out of the two or three, collect one of them and go after it. Like your life depend on it. Because I'm gonna be broke. I'm not gonna be broke after this. Get
Mhm.
really upset with yourself that you're never gonna be here again because something brought you here. Now I want you to go find out what brought you here, but not right away. I want you to focus now on what this Caren, whomever you are, foreign, whatever you are, and call my own name, is going to do right here, right now, and do that one thing. Once you finish doing the thing, don't harp around. Get up, clean your house, pack up your clothes, wash if you got a load of laundry, cook some food if you're gonna go do it. Don't stay in that state. Put on music. Be jolly because you did the one thing already. Tomorrow, do the other thing. If you
Mhm.
have a job, go to work, come back, and keep doing the thing.
There
All
you
right,
go.
now you got things moving. Go back and sit down with yourself. Find out the mistakes you make, put them in a pile, put them in a corner. Don't harp on them, just acknowledge them. And now I want you to go in and do the other thing. Start your structure, what it's going to look like. Who do I need to reach out to? And the structure is not a big, long thing. Right now, at this point, you're broke. I need to talk to 12 people to see if one person's going to buy. I need to talk to 24 people to see if two people are going to buy. Okay, that didn't work. That strategy didn't work. What's my next strategy? Get it going, get it
Mhm.
moving. Is it something I have to make? Could I get a pre-order? Could I take money in advance? All this is not new, guys. I've been taking money since I was about 17, 16 or 17 from people and then making the product.
Mhm.
I sold the whole thing. Then I can't, when I kind of get it, Saturday afternoon. Why? I'm giving myself enough time on Thursday and Friday to go buy the thing, make the thing, and sell it on Saturday. I'm
Yes.
not explaining that to anybody, by the way, but this is what I'm doing. I'm
Mhm.
collecting the money. I'm having the extra monies because I might need a hand or two to help me when my product was a lot of intense labor work. But make sure you produce it when you tell them. Don't go running off now.
Meet the deadlines, people. Meet your deadlines.
Yes. And if you can exceed it by being early, you
Oh
give
my
it to
gosh.
them and they're back. They're like, if I give Caren money on Thursday, Saturday by noon, I got my goods.
I can pick up my order.
Yes. And it's
It's
good. The
you know
quality
something.
is good.
I know that we sort of overthink things, but if you think about it, it's the same thing as Girl Scout cookies.
Girl, girl.
We pay in advance.
Yeah. Yep.
They ship us our
Yep.
order, or they bring it to the door.
Yes. This
It,
rule hasn't gone anywhere in 2024. When I tell you, when I sat down and I was talking to God about marketing and sales and things weren't going where I wanted, he's like, my dear daughter, you've been doing this all the time. You got this. You know what to do. Stop it. Go do it.
there you go. There you go. Oh, Coach, that's why I said people just need to be sitting here taking notes, because some of the things that you talk about are things that we need to push through psychologically
Mhm.
in order to get to the other side where we are actually functioning the way
Yes.
we should in our
Yes.
businesses.
Yes.
And at some point, we may actually have to do some forced function, people. Oh my, oh my God. You can find Coach Caren over at Profits in Daily, uh, on her on Facebook and on Instagram. Coach, we just love you.
Oh, thanks.
We just want really seriously,
I
we
love
just
being here in the BizChicks too, guys.
you know we just want to thank you for all that you bring to the table, because it truly is phenomenal. We want people to know that if they desire to make an appointment with you, how do they do that, Coach?
Just book some time, pay for some time, and come with your pen and paper. We do strategy. We work it out, guys, like in lifetime. Like you go away with so much and you get going with it. And I even throw in a little bonus where you can reach out back to me. You can show me what you got done from what our talk is usually, and anything, any little tweaking we'll go over. And when we set a timeline, and people book more time. And if they needed more time or full coaching, sometimes people just need to get moving, and this is what this is for. And then if they want to book more time, they do.
Okay, so you heard that. There is the link there on the screen. You can take a screenshot, okay, or you can look in the comments. We'll put it there also. Let me just copy that while I'm thinking about it, so that you can book time with Coach Caren. We just want to thank you again, Coach.
You're welcome.
It's just always enlightening and a pleasure to spend time talking with you. We want to remind everybody that if they're looking to become a part of BizChicks, they can simply text Biz to 33777, or they can connect with us over at bizchicks.net. We
Mhm.
love to share with our community what it is you do and how you serve. In the meantime, remember, if you're looking for someone to help you take the hassle out of your hustle, just contact us over here at BizChicks. We'd
Yeah.
love to help you with your social media, with your business issues. Just give us a call. We love you, and we say, have a great day, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you again, Coach, for all
Oh,
you
you're
do.
welcome.
We appreciate you. All right, everybody. Bye bye.